How can reality be two things at once, and why is consciousness the key to this mystery? Welcome to the realm of quantum mechanics and the double-slit experiment. This experiment, first performed in the early 20th century, involves firing tiny particles like electrons or photons at a barrier with two slits. Now, you might expect these particles to behave like tiny bullets, passing through one slit or the other. But that's not what happens. Instead, they create an interference pattern on the screen behind the barrier, as if they're waves that pass through both slits simultaneously. Stranger still, if we observe which slit the particle goes through, the interference pattern disappears. The particles seem to know they're being watched and revert to behaving like particles. This, my friends, is the enigma of the double-slit experiment, a puzzle that remains unsolved even today. But here's where things get even more bizarre. In the double-slit experiment, particles behave differently when observed and unobserved. When unobserved, particles pass through both slits simultaneously, creating an interference pattern on the other side as if they were waves rather than particles. However, when observed, these particles behave as we would expect. They pass through one slit or the other, not both, and no interference pattern is created. This is known as wave-particle duality. The act of observation, it seems, changes the very outcome of the experiment. It's as though these particles know they are being watched and alter their behavior accordingly. This peculiar phenomenon has given rise to many questions. Why would observation change the outcome? What role does consciousness play in this process? So it seems that the very act of observing affects the very fabric of reality, a finding that has intrigued and puzzled scientists for decades. Now, you might be wondering, what does all this have to do with consciousness? Well, brace yourself, because we're about to dive deep into the rabbit hole of quantum mechanics and consciousness. Some theories suggest that the mind-boggling results of the double-slit experiment are indicative of consciousness extending beyond the confines of our brain. Consider this. The act of observation in the experiment influences the outcome. But what is observation, if not a function of consciousness? If the mere act of observing can alter physical reality, does this not imply that consciousness in some way shapes our reality? Think about it. If physical matter can exist in multiple states until observed, it suggests that our conscious observation is a key player in determining the state of reality. This is a radical departure from our traditional understanding of the universe, where physical reality is viewed as independent of our perception. But hold on to your hats, because it gets even more intriguing. If consciousness is indeed fundamental to reality, it might mean that the universe itself is conscious on some level. This is a theory known as panpsychism, which posits that mind or consciousness is a fundamental aspect of the universe. Thus, the double-slit experiment not only challenges our understanding of physics, but also of consciousness itself. So what does this mean for us and our understanding of the universe? Imagine for a moment that our consciousness, our awareness, is not confined to our brains, but spread across the fabric of reality. The double-slit experiment, in its enigmatic charm, suggests just that. The world we perceive isn't simply a passive stage where we play our parts, but a dynamic platform that responds to our very observation. It's not just a shift in perspective, it's a paradigm shift in the way we comprehend reality. Now imagine the implications. If consciousness is fundamental to reality, it means we are not mere onlookers, but active participants in the grand cosmic theater. Our thoughts, our perceptions, our very consciousness could be the directors of the drama that unfolds around us. This experiment forces us to question the nature of reality itself. Is reality objective and independent, existing regardless of our observation? Or is it subjective, morphing under the weight of our gaze? It's a question that stirs the depths of philosophical thought, nudging us towards the edge of what we know and what we yet have to discover. In the end, the double-slit experiment leaves us with more questions than answers, pushing us to explore the uncharted waters of consciousness and reality. It's a journey that is both thrilling and terrifying, but one we must undertake if we are to truly understand the nature of our existence. Thanks for watching. Like the video and subscribe for more mind-blowing videos.